This is the greatest theme song. Hello, everybody. So today we're going to look into what I find to be one of the most interesting devices that I own. Really, they are. I remember the first time I saw them, I wanted one, and now I have four. And yeah, so we are talking about these guys right here. This is the Boss Micro Rack series. I have four. I have two compressors. I have the pitch shift delay and the overdrive distortion. So I have three or four. Well, technically three. Two are the compressors. So that's these guys up here. Now, what is cool about them is every single one comes with a diagram of what it does on the top. So you can see that. Yeah, so what it is this is a micro rack system. So it's technically a half rack. If you want to put it in a regular rack, you need to get yourself one of these adapters. I have two of these adapters, and then you screw them to the bottom, and then you can put them in your standard rack. I am currently cleaning out my rack because I bought, if you watched my short video that I did, the short reel or whatever you want to call it, I was able to get a Gator hard shell case, 3-unit case. I took out my my amp, which was at the very bottom, which I haven't used in there for a very long time because it used to be for the band. But now I need it for when I go and do shows, and we're going to be doing some outdoor shows this Christmas for the a cappella group. So I need it for that. I wanted it out so that I could I want it covered so it doesn't get wet. If it gets wet, it's off the top of the thing. And I wanted it to be away, and I wanted to be in a hard shell so I can carry it and take it wherever I want. So that's why I got that. That freed up some space. So what I did, I'll just show you quickly here. Let's just move the camera. Is the camera coming up? No, camera's not coming up. Let's do it again. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so what I did, I moved down here. It's hard to see, but when I moved down here, I moved the Furman is the power. So my power is now at the very bottom. And then above that is my headphone amp because I don't really use that much. I'm leaving the next spot free because I can't fit anything in there because of the big bin that you see right there. Oh, sorry, this is the racks. I have the racks sitting on top of it, so it's hard to see. But yeah, so that's my drawer. Then I have this huge space. Now I moved the I took out the X5, the PVX5, because it's the noise gate, that I'm not using anymore. I'm going to do a video on that too. I'm selling it, so if anybody wants it, it's $50. If you live close, I will even deliver. So then I have my DBX there, the compressor, noise gate, and then I have my effects, my TC Electronics effects loop, and then I got my patch bays. And so what's going in here now is I'm going to put the racks back, and then I'm going to put my 238 in there as well so that I free up the space on top. So it's just going to be this cassette deck up there and nothing else. All right, that being said, now we're back on this here. So what is cool about these things is they were designed for pretty much everything. They weren't just designed as a guitar thing. You could buy a micro rack that would hold them each one. And yeah, I'm going to do a demo after I'm done all this stuff. But yeah, they were pretty much designed for everything. And I downloaded the manuals, but we're going to talk about each of them. Now on the back of each, depending on which ones you get, now they all have an RCA in and out, as well as a 1/4 inch in and out. Some have stereo. This is not a stereo. None of the ones I have are stereo. Technically, we'll say technically, and I'll explain why in a sec. So what you could do is like this would be perfect for such things as the Porta 5. I'm not sure the Porta 7, but definitely the Porta 5, because as I showed in the previous video, the Porta 5 has RCAs for its effects out. So I could use this for that, use it that way, which is great. Now it has an in and out here for power, which is also great. I have a power adapter for them all, and I have them all strung together. And then yeah, so you have stereo link here. This is which one is this? So this is the compressor. This is the compressor here. So you can link this into another compressor. So you can link it into the other noise gate, or you can link it as a noise gate, or you can compress it. You can link them together. You can link them to a second compressor, which is great if that's what you want to do. You have the ability to have a remote. The remote is pretty much an on-off switch. So it'd be on. So you have this here. So you have your effects here. This would be null and void, and you would use the effects switch. And then you also have the key in. I have no idea what the key in is. We're going to look that up. So let's go to the compressor here on the screen. Let's just switch over to that screen so you can see what I'm seeing. And this is the actual manual. And the sad part is this manual is so old, I can't tell you what it says. So let's see, where's key in? So key in jack. This is an input jack that can be used to change the response for each function on the RCL10, depending on the external audio signal fed into it. Usually the input signal or process. So it must have information on that at somewhere in here. I have never used it. Yeah, so as you can see, this is how you can hook it up. And they have different ways that you can use it. You can use it as a limiter, a compressor for vocal, or a compressor for guitar or bass. So you have all these things that it'll do: an expander, a noise gate, as a signal gate, which is where you have it attached so that you can stop it when you want. So let's see. So the RCL key in jack and stereo link allows you for a wide variety. Okay, so you would use the key in jack, and then you could have it as a gate echo sound. So, you know, you have in the 80s they had the gate echo where it was and they would stop. The reverb would just cut. You could do that with this. So that's what that is for. It also has a de-esser for vocals, which is kind of neat. But I think you have to get the EQ as well that they offered as well in the Micro series for that. Yeah, so it is a fascinating little machine. And yeah, so you can do it as stereo, which is why I have two of them, because the guy I bought it from had two, and that's what I wanted. So now let's look at the front of this. So if you look at the front is pretty much a standard compressor. So you have let's go up here. So you have your effects. That's to turn on. That's to turn on. It's like a foot switch effects thing. You got your threshold, your ratio, your attack, your release, your threshold again. This is for the gate, decay, and then how much level you want to have, and then you have your power button over here. So how do you hook it up to the rack? Well, you unscrew this. You take this screw out, and then you put it on the rack, and then you screw it back in, and then it's on that larger rack. So that's how that would work. So that is this one. So yeah, that's pretty much standard. So let's grab the other compressor out of here. So I got the two compressors over there. I have no idea how I'm going to set these up yet. I'm redoing pretty much everything. So now we're looking at the pitch shifter delay. This is the one that I've used on a few recordings. I love it. Let's look at the back first. So once again, yeah, you have the diagram to show you how it works. This is the RPS 10. Same thing at power. In this case, you have keyboard control. Yeah, what this is this allows you to, no, it's not tuner out. What is keyboard control? We're going to have to look that up. So it says got C5 to C7. So No, you know what? I bet you could plug a keyboard in here and then use it to. We'll have to try that. Well, now I have something else to try with it. So then you got your tuner. What this does is this sends a signal out, and it allows you to set. So if you're using the tuner on the front here, you have your pitch shifter part, and then what this does is when you're using the tuner, it'll send a signal, and if you want to set it to like a high C, you would then have a tuner hooked up to this, and then you would move it up to get yourself to where you want to be for a high C. So that when you sing, you can be an octave above, you can be an octave below. That's how that works. So that's what I would use it for. So I would just plug this into the DP32 as a tuner, and then it would work that way. Then you have your effect remote, which is on off, pretty much just bypasses the effect in the front. The hold, what that does is that if you are recording, if you're playing something, and then you decide I'm going to hold that for a second, so you do like you do a strum on the guitar, and then you push the foot pedal, it will then hold it, so it'll go ding, 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 depending on how you're timing up here. And then once again, you have your quarter inch and your RCA in and outs, and then your level button to set it. Now, one thing I have learned, because this is my second one of these, I blew my first one because I actually plugged in on both sides, which I should not have done. I learned that the hard way. So that's why now I just use the quarter inches on this, because that's what I'm generally using. And on the front, so you do have different delays. You have just regular BGG. I'm not sure what is it BGG? Boo. Oh no, it's 800. Sorry. This is what happens when your eyes go bad. You got inverted, so that's a reverse reverb. And then you have your pitch shift A, B, and inverted. So you can invert what you're saying backwards, or whatever you're doing backwards. And then you can use your pitch knobs. These also work as delays. So you can change the delay time from here. So this is, you pick a time and then you can change it, a little bit of it here. And then you have your level for your feedback, how much feedback you want to come in. And then your balance of the direct. So this is like dry, wet, so there's dry, there's wet. And so, yeah, so I just want to look up the keyboard part of this. So let's go back here to the manual. All right, so the keyboard control. So yeah, so what it is the keyboard control. You plug it in there. And I just want to see something here. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about the keyboard control, what it does it? Let's see. So, because I didn't even realize that was there. So let's see. Effects remote jack. Did I pass keyboard control? Nope. Let's see. Pitch shifter. Yeah. So it just tells you how a keyboard. So let's see. So pitch shifting with external keyboard. Oh, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna have to try that one day. See, these are things that I never knew that I'd had or never bothered trying. So I'm gonna try that one day. I'm gonna hook that up and see what happens. Maybe I'll have to put another quarter inch in the back here. So yeah. So I guess it'll raise this up by itself. That seems kind of neat. We're gonna have to try that. We're gonna have to try that. Maybe we'll try that in this video. Last one to show off before we do the demo. So let's go back here. Whoops, let's go back to here. Alrighty. So this is the Rod 10. This is the distortion one, overdrive and distortion. And I actually bought this. This is direct from Japan. I bought this years ago from Japan. So you have different modes. So you have three different overdrive modes. You have a distortion and a fuzz. So depending on what you want to list, what you want, you can select it from here. Then you have your drive, how much power you want to give it. Then you have your EQ along here. So your low, mid, high EQ. And then your levels. So that once again is how much do you want out to go out. And you've got your power button, and yes, you have your effects on the other side. And yes, so you have your diagram. This is a very simple diagram compared to the other ones. This one is a lot simpler than the other two. So you got your power in and out. You have your effects remote, which is a foot switch. I actually do hook up into the rack. I do hook up into these because that way I can use it that way. And once again, you have, in this case, you have an output, which is an RCA, and you have, I wonder if there's two outputs. I'll have to figure that out. And then an input. So this one does not have a secondary RCA input. It has an output RCA, but it does not have it as a line output, which I'm gonna have to look into. All right, so let's go look in the manual. Like I said, it's been a long time. These have been sitting in my rack for the past, I don't know, 10 years. It's been a long time, that's for sure. So let's look at this. Let's look at the last manual here for this. So, all right, so let's see. So we're going to look at the line out jacks and the output jack. What is the difference? So the output jacks were the signal sent out from the ROD10, yes. So let's see, line output jacks. Connect these jacks to the line in of the amplifier or mixer. These two jacks can be used at the same time. Oh, so on this one they can be used even when the effect is on the line driver circuit that simulates the characteristics of the guitar amplifier work. So okay, so by the sound looks of it, it is a 80s cab simulator. So we'll have to try that and see what happens. So yes. So this is where we are with stuff. Yes, I have, like I said, I have done when I use these, I have the remote jack on my board so that I could, or in my thing so that I can use it. So yeah, so this is more geared for guitar and keyboard. Maybe Vic the synth guy would like to get one of these. I don't know how much they are anymore, but yeah. So. And you can see that. So that is just a quick overview. We will go play with them in a moment. So I will do that and then we will talk about them afterwards. All right, so I've got them hooked up here. I'm in a makeshift mess here right now, so I don't even have my power. Nothing on my rack is hooked up. So I got them hooked up so they're top down. So first going the compressor, then the distortion, then the pitch shift delay. This is clean. Don't ask me if the guitar's tuned. Probably isn't. So, turn on the compressor. On a little higher. You can see working quite well as a noise gate. That cuts right out. Yeah, so I'm not in tune. I'm not going to worry about it. So let's turn on the overdrive here. full fuzz. All right, let's take that off. So we are on inverted pitch shift right now. This is regular pitch shift. This is inverted. Regular delay. As you can see, it starts playing with delay on that too. So that's all of them. That's how they work. And yeah, I will end up using them again at some point, of course, because I enjoy them. Now the thing is I now know that in the 2488 they have a much better pitch shifter, a wickeder one that I'm going to use in something, maybe even my fall song challenge. But yeah, it's you know, for the time, these are really cool. So I still love them. I'm going to hook them back up, put everything back in the rack. I'm going to hook everything back up together, blah, 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 all that stuff. So that's in the coming days. I'm hoping to get it all done by tomorrow so that I can focus again this weekend on the Fall Song Challenge. And I will talk to you later. Bye. This is the greatest theme song.